Hey, what's going on? It's Javon Trades with the Trading Legion. Now, here's the website we have officially launched for the company. I want to show you we're going to be providing education, knowledge, and resources for free for the rest of the trading community. Now, in the Trading Legion website, you can see over here, you can join the Trading Legion, right? This is our Discord link. Again, our Discord is going to be up in about a month or so with some more fine tuning. There's a couple more things we have to do on it before it can be fully live and operational. And as far as why the traders choose the Legion, you can see exactly why. We have live chats, screen shares, Q&A, and support from top traders. We give you daily insight, market insights, give breakdowns and live support every market day. And we have proven strategies that work, right? I've made several videos now, and we do have proven strategies that are tested and setups used by our team daily. And beginners to advanced, right? We welcome all levels. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or if you've already been in the game for a while. Joining our community can help you sharpen up your skills, sharpen up your mentality, and get you to the next level like you've always wanted to. I will link the free PDF course here that I showcased for you in the video. There will be monthly access here for our Discord, a full course, and eventually a Mastermind waitlist. Again, this is all coming within the next couple months here to be completed, so keep an eye out for it. I'll definitely be making more videos. And again, just a little something about the mission, right? And I want to show you guys exactly the mission. Why did I create the Trading Legion? Why is Javon Trades creating these videos? I want to show you exactly what it's all about, right? So the mission. I didn't come from money. I didn't come from no rich parents, a network, or a business background. I came from working construction, deep in muddy trenches, grinding under the sun, just to survive. I know what it means to build something from nothing, because I am literally that definition. I built something from nothing. A lot of you come from nothing, you know? So this is what this whole community is about. I want to show you exactly what it takes to achieve greatness, to achieve building something from nothing. Over the last 10 years, I've been fully self-employed, right? I haven't answered to a single man. I haven't answered to a single boss, single woman, nothing. Got nobody telling me what to do for the last 10 years. I've been creating freedom through relentless work ethic, self-education, and a refusal to settle. Doesn't matter how much I learn, I keep educating myself. Everybody knows the best CEOs in the world, the best CEOs, the best bosses, never stop educating yourselves. Now I travel the world, I live on my own terms, and trade the markets with clarity and purpose, right? I don't do no degenerate trading. Everything is done properly with strategy. The Trading Legion was built to give other traders the same freedom through real mentorship, real strategy, and a team that genuinely wants to see you win, right? Jacob Voronov, the founder of the Trading Legion. That's me, right? We had a little new segment there, some courses, frequently asked questions. And again, this is proof that I really came from the muddy trenches. I came from the gutter. I came from literally nothing right here. From working construction for $17 an hour to building my own business, traveling the world and snowmobiling in Whistler in the mountains, ATVing in Mexico, and snorkeling with turtles in Hawaii. This is the journey I now help others unlock through trading and entrepreneurship. So you can see I came from the muddy trenches. I came from literally nothing. You know, I didn't have no mommy's money, daddy's money. I didn't have none of that. Came from nothing, man. You know, didn't even get paid $20 an hour. I never achieved that level of income. I just started out my own thing, did my own thing, became my own man. So this is what I want everybody else to achieve: becoming your own man, your own woman, not having anyone to answer to, and being able to enjoy financial freedom and entrepreneurship through physical businesses, through trading, specifically for this channel. And that's basically it, you know. So definitely keep an eye out. We're based in Vancouver, BC. You can contact us. And yeah, that's basically the whole website. And we are officially live, the Trading Legion. And once that Discord is up and running perfectly, I will definitely be letting the rest of you viewers know about it. But for now, just be on standby. It'll be up and running within a month or two professionally with the rest of our team. And we will be able to educate everyone and get everyone on the same boat as us so that we can all get rich together. Let's get into the trade here that made me $13,515 trading SPY options. This is exactly how I did it. This happened on July 16th, actually the other day from the day I'm recording here. And I had gone in with 27 contracts on a puts day, right? I had betted for the downside. And we had actually a really big drop here. You can see price went from 623 all the way to 619. This was about a $500 profit per contract, which in turn leads to a $13,515 profit overall from this whole trade. So I'll show you exactly how I set this up, how I got into it, and exactly what I did to get to this. Let's get into it. At the top, there's this white line over here. This is basically just the trend line. So what I was looking for is I was waiting until the bullish momentum would end. I was waiting until we would stop going up in value, up in price, and until we could actually see that the market's crashing. So over here you can see it finally crashed, and I'll show you exactly how I was able to base this line, where I got this line even from. Over here you can see right at the bottom there's this big pullback, and then to the nearest pullback, referencing off of the most modern time, was this area right here at 592. So I marked out these two lines, and I simply waited until I could see right here, I know it's kind of hard to tell, until I could see that this trend line would break. Once it broke, I didn't trade right away. I waited to see how price action would react. So back to the 5 minute here. So I waited to see how price action would react. Obviously we had a massive crash here. This was an insane move. And then I waited to see, would the overnight data reclaim this drop to go back to being a bullish trend day, you know, if we're going to be going to the upside again. And clearly it did not. I waited for a few confirmations, and at about 8 in the morning, I had gone in with those 27 contracts, and yeah, just held all the way until the bottom here. Now this support line, again, I'm going to show you exactly where this is based off of. I'm on the 5 minute. Let me break it down to the 1 hour. So this support line was simply based off of here, this area of confluence where you can see resistance turned into support. So my biggest fear was this area clearly has a lot of institutional buying interest. So you can tell that if we were to dip into here, there's a high chance of a reversal happening. And you know, the market doesn't go in the same direction forever. Eventually it does reverse. So I just ended up marking out this zone over here as the most probable area to look out for because of all this confluence, how it's held before in the past, and how it's supported this bullish trend line going up over the last couple weeks. Now back to the 5 minute, let's just go back to our actual trade here. So once I had seen that price action could not come back up and, you know, reclaim the previous price that it was valued at for the S&P 500, I knew that we were going to have another puts day. So I waited, I seen the dip down here, I seen a break VWAP in the 9-day EMA, but then I did not see it go any further, and all of a sudden this red bar did appear. It started to crash, and that's essentially where I got in. I basically put my money down into puts, gone in, held all the way onto this area of confluence down here, and I sold a bit before the actual zone because I did not want to simply risk not profiting. I did not want this trade to reverse on me super fast and, you know, either leave me at a negative or leave me at break even. I'm just tired of that, so I wanted to claim the money that I had on the table. So I took this $13,500 profit, and it was a good trade. I'm very proud of it, and I'm definitely going to show you guys exactly what I've got going on, what I've been building in the background in order to teach people, educate people on how to become stock traders, option traders, and how to get your own investments right for yourself. Now, what I've been up to in the last few months has been actually building the website, getting the website built up for the Trading Legion. It is our new company that we are providing here, our community of traders who are looking to enhance their skills, become better, finally reach profitability, or even just the most basic beginner info, right? The other piece of education that I have built in the past is actually this PDF PowerPoint. I will be showing it to you guys and linking it as well in the video so you guys could have a reference sheet, you know, for referring back to how the market works. If you forget certain terms, forget certain things, you can use this PDF for referencing all sorts of basics. So if you're a real beginner, I honestly do suggest you check out the PDF I made. It's completely free. It's a free course. I don't have any paid courses or nothing like that. But yeah, this is just a free course. I created it just to help out beginners, people who do not know any basics when it comes to trading stocks or options. And yeah, it's a great piece of information, and I'm gonna unveil it to you guys right now here. Let's get into it. Alrighty, welcome to the course, guys. This is a free course. I'm gonna link the PDF version of this just down in the description, but I wanna just go through this real quick. It's only about 5 or 6 modules, really just like maybe even only 4. So yeah, let's get right into it. So introduction, what is day trading? Welcome to day trading. What you must know first, what you learn, what is day trading? Quick definition, buying and selling stocks / options within the same day. The goal, capture small price moves with speed and strategy, just like I showed you in the example. Unlike long-term investors, day traders seek quick intraday profits. Essential tools you'll need is a broker, a charting software, like TradingView for example, that's what I'm using, and an internet setup. That's really the only stuff you'll need. Realistic expectations you should have is understand that there's risks. This isn't gambling, it's skill-based. It's not a game of random luck, it's a skill-based investment game. It's not just gambling, it's not slot machines. This takes precision, takes skill, takes years. Like it's taken me, I've gone through many accounts. I've blown several accounts before I could become profitable. So it's a very hard, difficult skill to develop, but it can be developed and learned. Now, I'll also be talking about the types of traders, scalpers, momentum, breakout swings. So, there's different types of traders. For example, I'd consider myself more of a scalper. I go in and out of a trade no more than 30 minutes at most. Swing trading is not really my style, but it is still very popular. Now, I want to give a warning. Most beginners lose money, just like me, because they start without a plan. Build your foundation before risking capital. When I first started trading and investing, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just throwing money up, using the worst softwares possible, like Wealth Simple, where they try to trick you with a zero transaction fee, but then it's one of the worst softwares in the world and it's guaranteed for you to lose money. There's not even a stop loss you can set. So I've made some serious mistakes in my investment and trading careers, but gotten me to a point where I can become profitable every single month and not have to worry about breaking my back to earn a dollar. So I'm really grateful for the skills I've learned, but as a fair warning, you will more than likely lose all your money. So if you do want to get into trading to get rich fast, just go on vacation, take a break, treat you and your family for a vacation, because I guarantee you, you're better off spending money on a vacation and luxuries than just gambling your money away on trading. You have to learn the skills first, and don't even put your money up at first. Use a simulated account. Don't use real money until you know what you're doing. Okay, call to action, join our Discord or subscribe to the course for more in-depth learning and live sessions. So subscribe to the channel, stay in contact with us, because there will be more educational tools, more strategies, and more free information coming out constantly from this channel. I really want to make this channel all about educating traders so they can achieve the greatness that they are destined for. And again, our Discord will be up and running very soon. As of right now, it's still a bit under construction, but it will be finalized very soon within the next few months here, and we will have a real community going with the Trading Legion. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Now, Module 2, Chart Basics and Technical Analysis 101. Understanding candlesticks, support, and resistance. Right, so I'll break it down bit by bit very slowly here. So on the left at the bottom, you can see there is two candlesticks, right? One is green, one is red. The green represents when buyers are in control, when it's bullish. The red represents when sellers are in control, when it's bearish. When the market goes down, the bars are red. When the market goes up, the bars are green. Very straightforward. The top line here, the top of the wick, is the highest price that traders were able to trade amongst themselves, right? People were buying and selling at the highest price at this level. And then after the wick, once you drag it down to the actual body of the candle, right here, the square part, you can see this is the price that the actual stock closed at, right? So the difference between the wick and the actual body here, the wick is where there was a lot of confluence, a lot of buying and selling, and only so many traders were able to set off their deals. But quickly, very swiftly, the price had gone down and closed at this body level. So only if you were an instant scalper and you were able to get out in time, you would have been able to sell around the candle zone area, around the candle over here at the top. But more than likely, you would have sold at the body, because the reaction time of some of these candles can be 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes. It just depends, but that kind of breaks it down, right? And then same thing at the bottom. Lowest price is the lowest price people were buying it for, and then obviously it got brought up, and this was the actual open price that was available to the majority of the people. I guarantee only so many people could buy it for this low price. Once it goes into the body here, once that body forms, your only option is to buy within the body of the candle. The wicks are more of a history lane to show you what happened. That's really all it is. And same goes for the selling over here, right? It got sold for the highest price here, and then it got sold for the lowest price. But then, for the most part, you would have gotten your contract in at the price around where the body of the candle is. The wick, typically, you would be too slow to get in through there. Now, how to identify key support and resistance zones, right? So there's support and resistance zones. Support, basically you can think of the bottom, the ground. Resistance is the roof, it's the top. So the top, you always want to, at the top you always want to short, right? If you see that the market is starting to crash, you want to short. If you're at support and you see the market's holding, you want to go long, you want to go for calls, you want to go the exact opposite of puts, right? That's calls. And how do you identify key support and resistance zones? So what you have to do is you have to look into the history of the chart, right? You have to open up the 1-day chart and you have to mark out some big zones where you have seen confluence, where you have seen the price action hold, negate, where you have seen price action hold, reject, or even turn from rejection into support. And you have to make sense of previous history of price action. Otherwise, you are completely playing blind. You have to be able to mark out previous zones of movement, not completely rely on them, but know that these are the reference zones for your support and resistance. And obviously, new zones do get formed over time. And at the bottom over here, you can see the difference between the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame for the daily chart, right? We're looking at the S&P 500 SPY. This is the only real stock that I do trade. The only options I do trade typically are SPY options. 5 minute, you can see at the top left of the chart is a 5 minute, 5M. At the left one, top left, is a 1M. That's the 1 minute. You can see the 1 minute has a lot more bars, a lot more details in the photo, while the one on the right seems more simplistic and easier to follow. So those are the key differences between the two. One can be used for marking out trend lines, while the other one can be used for actually viewing the market and watching it break out minute by minute by minute. So that way you don't miss out any moves and you don't get stuck being forced to buy at the body. Instead, you can actually make moves happen within the wick here, right? Now, quick tips. Candlesticks show price movement over time. Green equals upward movement, red equals downward movement. Just like I said earlier, support equals price floor where buyers often step in. Resistance equals price ceiling where sellers push down. Looking at these levels helps you time better entries and exits. Now, module number 3, price, action, and market structure. Read the market like a book. Price, action, fundamentals. How to identify higher highs and lower lows. Recognizing market structure shifts. Spotting liquidity grabs and false breakouts. That's key. Real chart examples of price action based entries. And another little bit here on the quick tip side. Price action is the purest form of market analysis. No indicators, just raw movement. Higher highs, higher lows is an uptrend. Lower highs, lower lows is a downtrend. Liquidity grabs equals stop hunts near obvious highs and lows where institutions are looking to knock out other institutions or other big traders. Structural shifts equals trend direction change confirmation. Now I'll show you guys exactly what all that means in the photos below. So a false breakout or a liquidity grab, right? A lot of the time, and I'll show you exactly how to enter in on here. So you can see over here, the overnight data seemed like it was breached, right? You can see this wick that poked out. I think it's a bullish day. But as you can see, it rejects right away. The price action rejects, goes back below this resistance line. That was the resistance from the overnight data. And then you can see the price drop substantially, right? What happened here is a lot of other people's stop losses were set right below, right where this middle circle is. And as soon as it had been hit, price dropped right away. Now over here you can see price did break out, but then it got rejected. And if you would have set your stop loss right there and you would have traded alongside the institutions and you would have betted on a bearish day for a puts, you would have put a stop loss right where the rejection was of the false breakout, where the liquidity grab occurred. Then you would have an entry set right here below the resistance line, right? Because you don't want to be buying too low because it could easily reverse on you. Once you enter, you take profits at the most common area of confluence, right where the price starts to reject. Right at the bottom of the overnight data low, you can see to the left, that's where you want to take profit. Simple as that. Opening print, bar broke out the overnight high, exactly right here. Now, what we were talking about earlier in the notes, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. This is a downtrend, this is a bearish trend. Now, the exact opposite, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. This is a bullish trend. You can see we're going up. Not for long, but either way, this is a semi-bullish trend right here. Module number 4. Trade setups and entry strategies. My go-to setups, entries that work. What you'll learn, the difference between breakout and pullback entries, candlestick confirmations, engulfing pattern, pin bars, etc., using VWAP or EMA for confluence, one full trade breakdown, why, where, and how to enter. The quick tip side, entries are strongest when they align with the structure, momentum, and confluence. Breakout equals high momentum plus clear level break. Pullback equals entry on the retest after the breakout or rejection. Confirmation equals look for pin bars, engulfing candles. This is reading bars by bars. Confluence equals align entries with VWAP or EMA support / resistance zones, right? You want to be trading alongside the stream, alongside the current. You don't want to be swimming against the current. Now, I'll show you exactly what some of these examples mean on the chart below, right? Again, I'm using Trader Workstation from Interactive Brokers. This is a great software. See, we have a breakout entry, right? Resistance broke out. And then over here, you can see this resistance had turned into support, right? It starts to support our price action. And then over here, so that would be an example of a breakout entry. And then the next kind of entry is a pullback entry. You can see price pulls back super hard and then launches way the hell off like a bow and arrow. So that is a pullback entry. This is a breakout entry. When price breaks out a certain resistance point and turns it into support, we got breakouts. When we got bars pulling back, whether they are red or green, doesn't matter, and then going in the opposite direction heavily, that's a pullback entry. Pretty straightforward. Those are the two type of entries I typically look for when I am trading every month. Module number 5, risk management and psychology. Protect your capital, master risk before reward. Like I was saying, this is a high stakes game. You could blow all your money, you could lose all your money, you could lose your entire savings if you don't know what you're doing. You do not trade just to gamble. You trade with precision, with a plan that actually works. You can't just trade randomly or you will go broke. Now, what I mean by that is risk per trade best practices 1 to 2% rule, right? Strategic stop loss and take profit placement, using a trading journal to track progress, and how to build emotional control and trading discipline, right? That's the other part. Half the game is trading discipline, the other half is actual price action on the chart work, technical analysis. Now, on the quick tip side, risk management is your survival kit in trading. Even the best setups fail. Proper risks keep you in the game. What I mean by that is, you may overtrade, you may blow your account, you may mess up completely, but as long as you have that psychology, the discipline to hold yourself back, to shut down the software, to walk away before you mess yourself up and put yourself in debt, that's what it takes to stay in the game. If you do not have self-control, if you're the kind of person that takes some losses and starts going too crazy with it, and starts crashing out, and you start going into further debt, trading is not for you. You're going to end up in prison. I'm just saying that right now, just out of sheer care, because I don't want nobody watching my videos to end up, one, blowing all their money, losing all their money, owing a bunch of money, and then ending up in legal issues. I don't want none of that for none of my viewers. So I'm telling you guys, this is a serious game. This isn't just arcade, or this isn't slot machines. This is serious stuff. Okay, now, stop loss equals a preset level where you accept a loss. Take profit equals target zone where you lock in gains. Journal everything. Review what's working and what's not. Discipline equals trade plan, not your emotions, right? Like I was saying earlier, you're going to be a crash out dummy. You cannot be a trader. You got to be able to control your emotions and not crash out. Now, let's get in the photo here. Let's get in these photos here. On the left, what I mean by ratios, by actual proper risk to reward ratios. So you can see here in this example, this is a SPY options actual chart, right? Before we were looking at the S&P 500, the exact value of the S&P 500 at about $615, right? So these are option contracts. These are something completely else. This is where the actual dollar value is of the money you're putting in. This is where your contract's worth lies. Now you can see over here, we got an entry at 60 bucks, right? This is just an example. This is not a real trade, just as a disclaimer. We got an entry at 60 bucks, $60, right? We got a stop loss right here below the lowest wick, right? This is a pullback entry, right? Why? Because we pulled back and now we're going in the opposite direction. This is not a breakout. This is a pullback. Now, you can see the stop loss is set right here at 15 bucks, right? At $45 worth of the contract. So if we get stopped out, we're losing 15 bucks per contract. Now, our entry is going to be at $60, like I just said, and then our first take profit must be a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So what's 2 times 15? 30 bucks. So we need to at least make 30 bucks since we're risking 15. So that is a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So first take profit must be at $90. That is simple as that. And you can always sell half your position at the first take profit, and then you can sell the other half. You can let it run. That is what a lot of traders do. They scale out like this. But if you are too nervous and you want to just sell out fully, at least have a 2-to-1 ratio, because otherwise you're going to keep selling for breakout prices. And this is so important, is because if you end up just constantly breaking even on all your trades and then you take only a few losses, that's it. You're going to start going bankrupt. Now, if you're actually pulling out of your trades with at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward, the few times that you do take losses, at least your 2-to-1 reward system prevents you from going bankrupt, right? You have to be able to take at least 2 losses before you're at break even. Versus the other way around, if you're just panicking and selling right away, you're going to end up only being able to absorb 1 loss and you're out. Your account's going to start crashing. You can see over here I have an actual screenshot of one of my journal entry pages over here from about 2 years ago. Now, I'll read it out here. Keep drawing out the next best entries and start entering. You were right. It looks great. Calls entry worked great, and take profit worked great as well for our TP, for our take profit, right? Now, what I mean by that is I must have marked out over, since this is 2 years ago, I'm going off of memory reference, I must have marked out over here that if we can hold this area over here, the support area, we can have a stop loss set below here, and then we can actually go in for a call and sell out once we hit a certain risk to reward ratio of profit. Here's how the entries for the next trading day will look, and here are the take profits marked out as well. For calls, the take profit is basically $600, same as last time, or whatever the overnight high becomes. Those will be our TPs, take profits. For puts, take profit is at the first support, $5.95. So exactly like I just mentioned, I do not trade off of impulse. It doesn't matter if I'm wrong that day or I'm right. I simply, as long as I simply follow my procedure and do not trade off impulse, and I trade off of strategy, and I mark out these zones like I just showed here, so that I am actually following a plan, that is how I became profitable. I don't become profitable from just waking up in the morning and taking impulse trades. Everything has to be calculated, set out, and timed, and targeted. It's that simple. That's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little PowerPoint. Again, I'm going to include this PowerPoint in a PDF format down below, so you can download the PDF and you'll be able to have a free copy of this, right? It's just a very straightforward kind of reference sheet for exactly what trading is, especially what trading options is, and so that you can have some sort of educational piece to reference to, especially if you are brand new to trading. I know it can be really difficult for the new people, the new starters, the beginners, and exactly that is who I'm making these videos for, is people who do not know what they're doing, they do not have a game plan. You know, you may have crashed out a few times, you may have blown out a few accounts, and I'm just looking to put everyone on and make sure that everybody's trading and within their best means necessary. I want to make sure everybody that watches my videos gets the best education possible so that they can sharpen up their tools, their trading skills, and achieve the highest results they can possibly achieve. That's basically it. So best tools, brokers, and resources for beginners. What you'll learn. Top broker/platforms for new traders, right? So like I said earlier, I use Trader Workstation. It is interactive broker software. It's basically the Canadian version of Thinkorswim. More than happy with the software. I really recommend it if you have the capital for it, but of course you also have to qualify. This is not just a simple little trading software anybody can get onto. You have to be able to prove income, prove money, and actually show that you have capital to lose. Otherwise, they will not allow you to join their brokerage. Now, the best free screeners, charting tools, right? And go-to news and catalysts like Bazinga, Twitter, recommended books, and free PDF giveaways, right? So again, I'm giving out that free PDF here. And then as far as charting tools and analysis screeners, that sort of stuff, again, I covered quite a few. I talked about VWAP, talked about EMA and price action and supply and demand in a different video. But at the bottom right, you can see a photo. This is actually Bookmap. I've done a video on this as well before. This is a great software as well. I'll definitely do a video specifically on the Bookmap software with my own link with a discount code eventually. But for now, I'm just too focused on actually trading and making money to care enough to pump out too many videos, but I still will do my best here to keep the videos consistent and, you know, keep you guys fed with education and information that is actually important and could actually level up your life and your financial status. Now, Bookmap at the bottom, you can see all these globes here. This is called Bookmap. It basically shows you exactly what the candlesticks do, but in a different format. I really like it. I've used it many times for probably about 3 years, I believe, right? I traded for 2 to 3 years without it, and then I traded about 3 years with it, and I've definitely seen improvements. But again, this is definitely optional. It's not a must-have, but it's a great tool to have either way. Now, there's such things as overpriced brokerages that take too much money per trade, where they'll overcharge you like crazy. There's softwares that simply don't work. There's all sorts of oscillators and all sorts of charting tools that literally will end up actually messing up your vision. So the idea is to keep it simple, start simple, and then upgrade as your skill grows, right? You don't want to throw on VWAP, Bookmap, Sierra Delta charts, and a million freaking things when you don't even know what anything means. Start off with just the candlesticks like we talked about earlier, like we showed in the beginning, and then eventually you can learn these other softwares and see if they're useful for you or if they're not. Now, charting tools equals visualize trades with clarity. News feeds equals stay ahead of market moving events, right? You want to stay on Twitter, you want to stay on any sort of news outlet that gives you news instantly so you can stay ahead of the game, see what's going on. Now, books equals build your foundation with timeless principles. There's just not enough space to mention all the books and to show them all here, but there's a ton of books that I've read, probably almost 15 or so trading books that I've gone through, and I can recommend for sure at least 8 of them that are actually useful. And I will do that in a separate video, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe, because you will get that knowledge as well of those 15 to 8 books that I do recommend for trading. That's the whole video. I hope you learned something. I hope you got educated with some new knowledge, and I'll definitely catch you guys soon. I'll stay more consistent, and I'll keep dropping more content and more free courses and more free education so you can learn along and actually get rich with me. Now, let's stay focused, let's get rich together, and let's focus on the objective ahead. That's it for now. I'll catch you guys in the next video. There will be more educational resources coming out from this channel and this company that I'm running, the Trading Legion. And stay tuned, and you guys will definitely keep learning, and we can all keep getting rich together. Alrighty, take care, and see you in the next one. Peace.